As a short background about my family, we are not rich. We all have average salaries and can live comfortably, not luxuriously. This car will be a luxury in their eyes. I knew that from the beginning. I hate answering questions about how I make money from cartoons, but I had no choice. My father's car was broken, and they relied on me to drive them. The wedding took place at the home of the groom's parents, a place where I also grew up. A farm in the distance between locations was quite long. In my country, you can't formalize everything in one place. It's the city hall, then the church, the parents' houses, the godfather's house, a big chaos and hours of driving. Fast forward to the wedding. Like most of the family, my parents and I arrived there the day before. Many stayed at a nearby hotel. As I expected, the car created some fascination. In the first seconds, all my little cousins were jumping in enthusiasm next to it. It's pretty damn big, not gonna lie. I managed to survive the questions and even help with the final preparations for the wedding. I was going to be a bridesmaid, and I was quite excited. Alice was suspiciously nice to me all day, until the evening came. She came to me and asked if we could discuss something important outside. I agreed, and she jumped on the subject immediately. She asked me if they could use my car tomorrow. It is beautiful and white. It will be perfect for a bride, she said. Without thinking too much, I accepted. I said that I would be happy to drive them wherever they needed. She immediately frowned and shook her head. No, you're not going to drive. John is going to drive. It was probably a bad reaction, but I started laughing. I may not know much about my family, but I know damn well that John doesn't have a driver's license. In fact, he tried 3 times and failed. I asked her if she was trying to get him arrested on the day of the wedding. Funny how that wasn't too far from the truth. She ignored me and said that John knows how to drive and no one will stop a groom in traffic. Until that moment, I still thought she was joking. She wasn't. I tried to reach an agreement that I would not leave my car in the hands of someone who does not have a driver's license, regardless of the event. From that to a huge scandal, it was just one step. She yelled at me that I couldn't even do this minor thing for my cousin, as if committing a crime is a minor thing. Then she started crying, that she would look embarrassed in her parents' car, an old Ford, on this big day of her life. I even offered to leave the car at home and me and my parents to squeeze into the cars of other family members. Nothing worked. She didn't want to leave the car behind, but to appear with it at the wedding. Everything seemed so ridiculous to me, that I went to my room to sleep. She grabbed a can of beer and threw it at me, screaming that I'm a bi-ch and I'm not invited to the wedding anymore. I really wanted to leave, but John convinced me to stay and promised me that he would convince Alice to let me drive the car tomorrow. I left it like that and went to bed. On the wedding day, I woke up calmer, eager to find an agreement where everyone would be happy. I took my coffee and left the yard to check my car and make sure it was clean. Cleaning should be my last concern. All 4 tires were flat. The car paint looked like a drawing of a 3-year-old child, not with colored crayons, but with a stone or something sharp. I couldn't even react. I just blinked and wanted to wake up from a nightmare. I entered the car and checked the recordings on the surveillance cameras. Even though I knew who was the brain of this plan, I didn't expect to see her. Alice looked so good in the pictures that at one point I even saw the details of her poorly applied false eyelashes. There are no surveillance cameras in this area. She did it in the dark. She must have forgotten or didn't know that there are surveillance cameras in the car as well. I saw red. I don't remember ever being so angry. I didn't care anymore that it was literally her wedding day. At that moment, I just wanted to teach this insufferable spoiled brat a lesson. I called an old friend, who happens to be a policeman now. I explained the situation and sent him the images. He assured me that I had enough to have her arrested immediately for vandalism. I didn't hesitate too much. Just as she was getting ready to go to the hairdresser, my policeman friend appeared at their door 1 hour later. All this time, I sat in the car, trying not to cry or scream, just imagining how much the repairs would cost. I did her a favor by not returning to the house because no makeup could have covered the marks I would have left. She was almost dragged out of the house by force, screaming continuously, and as if what she had done was not enough, when the policeman let go of her arm, she picked up a stone and threw it at my car. They handcuffed her and put her in the police car. It was a huge drama. My friend took care of everything, and after 2 hours, she was bailed out by her father. She wasn't too late for the wedding, but you could tell that the gossip spread like wildfire, and the whole family was talking only about it. I don't know how the wedding was. Neither I nor my parents were there, but I heard that the bride had at least 5 fits of anger and yelled at the guests. The next day, her father contacted me. He apologized, and after he understood the seriousness of the situation, he offered to pay for the car's repairs with the request not to proceed with the lawsuit against Alice. I had insurance, but in this case, a legal trial of the culprit would have been needed. Let's say that the bill was not small for the poor father. She has not tried to contact me since then, and I found out that she cut off contact with all my family members, considering most of them were on my side.